15 minutes late. My fault. I've been trying, man. I've been trying all week to try to figure this out.
Dan.
Well, you said Chris couldn't do it either, right?
Well, yeah, we've been having trouble with our podcast, but now I know why. It's the Skype version.
Yeah, if you're trying to get anybody on, that's why. All right, we're live.
Yes.
We're live all over the place.
Awesome. Are we live on Paranormal Warehouse?
We are. We're live on Paranormal Warehouse. We're live on YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter, you name it. Finally. Sorry, guys. Sorry for everybody that's been waiting. I know I've been getting lots of messages. TikTok from Rosa, blah, 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 Rosa. I had to, last minute, try to figure out why I could not get screenshots of Dee, and if you guys remember last week when I had the interview with Summer Jones, I had to put up a picture of her, and we only had her voice because, for some reason, this new version of Skype, this wonderful version of Skype that they sent down to us, and won't allow us to take screenshots, that they just come up black when you're trying to use OBS Broadcaster, and that's what we need to use to broadcast live to you guys. And I've been trying to figure it out all week. I've been sending messages in, and nothing seemed to be working. And then finally I was doing some tech support with Mike from Paranormal Warehouse. He's like, dude, I got a link for the old version. And he sent it to me, and I downloaded it, and boom, it worked. It just happened to be a couple minutes late, so I apologize.
My gosh.
Mike's like a lifesaver. You know, Mike is like,
he is.
He's
really
like
is
the
a
tech
lifesaver.
god.
Lifesaver. He's a lifesaver.
He's a lemon lifesaver. He's not a lemon. He's a...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so... Late, but we're here. So that's awesome.
We are here. We are here.
I'm very excited.
Me too. I'm super excited. I'm very happy. We're here. I'm doing a lot of stuff, guys. I'm like doing this podcast, and I'm here with Mr. Dan Klaes on our show, and our awesome guests.
Or as Nick Groff would say, Dan Klaes.
Klaes. And with our awesome guests, Chuck and Joy Hansen of the Mason House Inn. And then I'm also, right now, I'm not at home and I'm not in a hotel room. I'm at a metaphysical shop called Mystic Valley here in Missouri. And I am in the middle of a gallery. We're doing an event tonight. So I've got Mr. Chris Moon and his mom, the beautiful Paulette Mama Moon, in the other room doing their presentation. We had to change it up tonight. I had to start at the beginning and do my portion and introduction of what I do with them and how I fit into the group now. And then I'm like, okay, I'll be right back. And I ran over here to do the podcast, and Chris and his mom are doing their portion. And then after this, I got to run back and do a demo. So I'm like, whoo.
Oh, man, life is so hard, you know? I mean, geez, you got to run back and then travel in a car. And I heard and then when you get over to the Mason house, you're going to be having a 14-piece course meal. I mean, life is just so hard for you, Dee. Man.
Yeah, I'm going to be fed well when I get there.
You know, any paranormal investigator, anybody that's going to do an event, it sounds like it's a dream come true going to the Mason house to do an event. Sounds like a place I'd like to go.
Especially for the dessert.
Well, we're expecting you here sometime.
Absolutely. Maybe I can come with Dee and Moon next time they come around. And
I was just gonna say, Chuck, that we need to put together an event where we can do Phenomena Encountered and Box Talks. That way we can have Chris and I, Dan and I, and the whole shebang. I think that'd be a great event there.
Well, come early in November before the class and do it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be cool.
That sounds like an ooh for me.
Yeah. I like that. So, for everyone that's watching, I know Dan and I are just babbling on and on and
like
on and on, but I'm glad everyone's tuning in. First of all, please share, invite people to come and watch. Share this because we got a great show for you guys tonight. We've got an amazing couple, great guests who I've met them once before, and I fell in love with both of them very much. They're family, and love them both to pieces. Chuck and Joy Hansen of the Mason House Inn. Welcome to Phenomena Encountered. Thank you for being our special guest. How are you guys doing this evening?
We're doing okay.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Awesome. And how have you guys been up to now? How have you guys been doing? I know you all have been very busy too.
Well, our schedule's been pretty busy. We have guests just about every night now, and weekends are full.
Awesome.
And we're gearing up for this weekend with you guys coming, so.
That's right. That's right. So before we get into what we've got coming up this weekend and all that, I want to give you both just sort of this opportunity to sort of tell our viewers, people that are watching and listening, a little bit about the story. You know, a condensed version. I don't know if there is a condensed version, but
I heard it. I heard it this weekend at the event. He had like 5 or 10 minutes to give everybody kind of a quickened version of what it is. So.
Maybe you can tell us about the location, how it called you there, and how my handsome long-haired blondie fits into the whole thing.
Well, it all started 17 years ago.
Wow, that makes him old, the blondie, huh?
Yes.
Well, it didn't start with him then. We started with him a little later.
No, we moved here 17 years ago from Ohio. Chuck had retired from the Air Force, and we came out here to buy a farm and ended up with a hotel.
Nice.
Wow.
So, yeah. They didn't tell us it was haunted. They knew. They didn't tell us. And after we bought it, then our guests were telling us about stuff that was going on in their rooms. And we were noticing things, but it was kind of don't ask, don't tell. If they didn't bring it up, we didn't. And then one day we get a call from somebody named Chris Moon from Colorado, and he said he wanted to come out and see if we were haunted. And I said, we already know it's haunted, so no thanks. And he kept calling, and finally he said, well, I can tell you who's there and why they're there. And I said, come on down. And so, yeah, he came out and he investigated, and he brought his box, and he told us who's here and why. So it was great. That was the beginning.
That was May of 2005.
Wow.
And we were the third location in the world to have the box used. So we've been on the ground floor of this project from day one.
I think that's amazing. The last time I listened to the presentation and hearing that, I thought that was awesome to hear that it was the third location in the world. And pretty much the project's been growing, and you've been finding out so much by using the box at the location, and just so much clarity has been brought to the location, right?
Yes. In fact, we used to be afraid of things that go bump in the night, and now we kind of look forward to it because we know who it is, and we can say, oh, hi, Harold, hi, Mary. Mm-hmm. And they've become family simply because we now have a name, and we know that they're not trying to scare us off or anything. They're just doing their thing, and sometimes we see them or hear them doing their thing.
So this is an active inn where people can come and stay.
Yes. We're a year-round bed and breakfast.
Nice.
Awesome.
And do you market it as a haunted location as well? Let people know ahead of time that they may have a ghost come and say hello to them?
It's on our website. It's not in your face, but you can find it. If there's a ghost hunting link, that's kind of a hint. Gotcha. And we also have 3 rooms outside the main building that are not haunted, so the chickens can stay out there.
Very cool.
Now, one of the things that was interesting was when we first moved here, I kept telling Joy, wouldn't it be neat if the walls could talk and tell us the history of the inn? And little did we know, 4 years later, the walls were talking to us through the box and giving us the history of the inn. So it's kind of a neat way of finding it out.
I think it's cool because we during the convention, there's a lot of questions, a lot of controversy. Lots of controversy about spirit boxes, and you stepped right up and took that microphone right away. You were very passionate about talking about Chris and the Frank's box when he came there. What kind of clarity has having Chris Moon and the Frank's box done for your location? What kind of peace of mind has it given you, and what do you think it's done to help you with what you're trying to accomplish there?
Well, I think initially I was interested in the history of the inn and the town itself. We were doing research and trying to document it and how the inn fit into the history of this town. And the first night when the box was here, with Chris and his dad showed up at midnight on a Friday night, and we did an investigation until 3 in the morning. And one of the first people we talked to was Billy Robinson, the builder of the inn.
Oh, wow.
And I nearly fell out of my seat. And I teased Chris because I kept thinking, I'm a guy with math and physics background. I kept thinking, there's somebody out there with a ham radio around the corner relaying through this radio. And so I asked Joy let's ask a question that nobody's ever heard the question or the answer to, because we had a lot of stuff that we haven't published yet. When we did,
this would kind of vindicate it. This would kind of vindicate for you, kind of like, okay, this is real or not, right? Is this really happening, right?
It was an immediate. This is actual, and we are getting actual data that we already knew about that nobody else knew about.
You have to actually live here to have known the answer to the question.
Wow.
And they gave the answer to the question.
They validated the box immediately for us.
It's not something anybody could have gotten off our website or a history book or anything.
And from then on, we've been a believer in it. And it's kind of interesting. Our first classes for the first year or so, and you may not know this, Dee, but they were basically, we were using EVPs to talk to the spirits. And the box was used after the presentations were over with, after the guests went to bed. Chris would set up the box in the dining room, and we would have private history studies with the spirits here.
Wow.
And it started, and it was not a public event at that point.
Wow.
And I said, it was kind of funny because our guests would come out of their rooms and start listening to what we were doing and hearing the voices.
Oh, did that freak them out? They're like, I'm leaving.
Wow.
They were fascinated. They were fascinated.
Awesome.
And we got more immediate response than somebody decoding an EVP over the internet and getting us the answers back. So I told Chris after the first year, says, we need to include this as part of the GHUs because it's more important to the guests than it is just to us at this point. And he said, okay, I'm going to incorporate that in my classes. And from then on, they were incorporated in every class after that, all across the country.
Wow. I think
So
that's amazing.
That was the startup of it. It was not originally intended to be part of the classes.
Huh.
That's really cool.
And I love the way it's sort of everything developed organically, you know, like you just said, it wasn't intended to be part of the classes, but it became that way. And everything, the way it's come to be now, it just sort of, it developed just organically. It's almost like you've allowed things to happen. The spirits lead you. The inn sort of has a say in how everything goes, the way you guys do things, even down to like renovations and things, right? Like I know when I was there, you were talking about, there was a pieces that you had put back, the chandeliers.
Yes.
And you placed them where the spirits wanted them to be placed, correct?
Well, we had gotten, we were able to get 4 original chandeliers back.
That's awesome.
And we had, go ahead, Daniel.
No, I just said it's amazing when you can actually get a piece of original furniture back to your location. I know this, you know, owning a location myself. When you get something back, it's like bringing it home. You know, it's like makes the spirits happy there.
Well, we knew where they were.
Well, we had an idea where they were, but not which chandeliers were exactly where they were. We knew where one was from a photograph.
Oh, okay.
So that one went back to its original place in the parlor. And when we got done hanging them up, we asked the spirits, are they in their original place? And they said, no, but don't worry about it. And they said, there is a photograph that shows where they originally were. And I said, well, where is it? And they said, a previous owner had it. It's gone. Don't worry about it. Leave the stuff alone now. Leave them where they are. So they were just, yes. And they were actually around us while we were hanging them.
Wow.
And it was kind of funny because they were chewing me out for being up on a ladder because I'm not supposed to be up on ladders because of my neck break. And they were chewing me out for that, but they were all oohing and eyeing these chandeliers as they were being hung. So it was a kind of a happy, sad type thing that they were watching when we were doing it.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, one of the things I'd love for you to tell the viewers that they would hear is I know you guys have a very strong connection to the inn, and that's because you've created this strong bond with the spirits that are there. It's kind of like you don't see it as you live there and they're there haunting. You see it as you guys are there together, existing together. They're there, you're there, you allow them, they respect you, you respect them, but you have a very special bond with them. And that's, I know Chris had told me the story, and then hearing it from you directly when I met you the last time we were there was incredible for me. But the spirit saved your life, right?
Yes. Well, one of the things that the spirits have told us is our bond is so strong that we're actually woven into the fabric of the inn.
Wow.
Which is the best description
Beautiful.
I can make of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their words. But yes, they actually saved my life 4 years ago.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
In a nutshell, basically, I had a sinus infection and I was having post-nasal drip. I got up in the morning. Joy was already up ahead of me she was already in the kitchen getting ready for breakfast. And I got up and I started a very violent cough because of post-nasal drip. You're waving at somebody.
Yes, I am waving at somebody. It was Chris.
And my heart, I couldn't breathe, so my heart stopped beating. It's called vasovagal syncope, where it's like if you see blood, you pass out. Well, I passed out in the middle of a cough and slammed my forehead against the wall, which was 1.5 feet away, and snapped my head back and broke C1 and C2 and dropped to the floor.
Wow.
And I actually died on the floor. And
wow.
Oh, wow.
God gave me the option of staying on the other side or coming back.
Oh.
I elected to come back. And at that point, the spirits were allowed to rearrange my body to keep me alive. They were given permission.
Restarted his heart.
They restarted my heart. They actually propped me up on my knees with my forehead down on the ground in a tripod. So my brain was lower than my heart. So it kept me alive. And they pinned me between a wall and a hope chest so I couldn't move.
Wow.
And when I finally came through, I basically said, Chuck, this is not a good situation you're in. I had a throbbing headache and a neck pain that was phenomenal. So I got myself up. I walked into the kitchen, got a nice pack, and that didn't help. But I told Joy I need to go to the doctor's. I think I have whiplash.
Wow.
I did something up. And basically the rest is they took me I went to the emergency room. They took an x-ray, found out they said I fractured my neck, but to me that's just split bones, but they didn't tell me I really broke it.
Wow, it's crazy.
And they airlifted me up to Iowa City, but basically C1 is a ring over C2, and it was obliterated. There's nothing left of it. It looked like a bomb had got off my neck. And C2 broke apart and rested up against my spinal cord and did not penetrate it. Otherwise, I would have been paralyzed from the neck down.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the doctors say that 95% of people either die of suffocation because C2 controls breathing, or they're paralyzed from the neck down, and they can't understand how I survived it.
God, it's incredible. I know the times I've heard that story, it's amazing, because that just says to me there's a reason why that happened, and you're supposed to be here. The spirits believe you're supposed to be here. You chose to come back, and everything happens for a reason, and that's why I feel like the description of you being woven into the... Look who's here.
There he is.
Oh, I see a dog. It's the famous dog and his owner.
I see
Hello.
some.
Hello.
Come down.
Oh.
We're right in the middle of doing a gallery reading, but we wanted to stop in and say hi.
Well, I'm disappointed that you weren't here, but we've already chewed you out for it, so.
Yeah,
Yes, you have.
You're in big trouble.
I
You
heard.
are. You're in big trouble this weekend.
We'll meet you at the farm on Thursday.
Yes, we'll be there.
Okay, I've talked to Jim already.
Good deal. We'll see you all then.
Okay, and then we'll go from there back to the inn.
Yes, sir. See you guys.
See you
You're
later.
scaring me to talk like that.
There you have it, guys. There was the famous Mr. Moon came in to say hi.
Not too often.
Yeah.
It's not too often he interrupts a gallery to come and jump in on a Skype. So that's pretty cool.
He had
Yeah.
to. He had to. I know he just absolutely loves Chuck and Joy, and so I know he felt he wanted to come say hi and pop in. And
I wanna ask a question now. I just met Chuck yesterday. I met Joy for a few seconds doing a pre-Skype, and I've never. There's a lot of Chris Moon takes a lot of crap out there, for his spirit box. Okay, and I know that that you guys get a lot
Hey,
of.
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait a minute.
Paulette.
You can't start keeping up with me. Get that neck brace off.
I know. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Shame on me.
You didn't learn from me, did you?
Yeah. I love you so much. I had to do the same thing.
That's what she
Got
does.
the roof
She goes
popping on
crawling
my
up in
show.
those attics and stuff, when she fell through. I mean, shame on you.
Yeah.
At least it was a controlled thing instead of with a sneeze.
Yeah. Going down the stairs backwards. Don't do it. Not good. Good. I'm gonna see you guys in just a couple of days.
We look forward to seeing you all.
And you know who else is with us?
Your hubby, I hope.
Papa Moon.
Wow.
Well, good. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but we'll be there and we'll catch up on everything and see what's going on with you guys and have horror stories about surgeries, kind of like that.
We could sit around a table for hours and talk about that stuff.
Yeah, we really could. Yeah, we all three of us, we know. We definitely know all about it.
You know what you have to do, Chuck? You have to take a picture of Mama Moon and superimpose her next to the picture of
You too, with yours on.
We'll get a family group picture with all our neck braces on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got somebody else here.
Hold on. One more. Sit down right here. Got one more moon.
All right.
Right.
He broke away from his tours.
That's right. Took me away from Denver.
So for all of those that want to know what Chris is going to look like in a few years,
That's right.
here we go.
Actually, it's just a wig that he wears.
Yeah, sure.
He's right.
Yeah, this is Blondie in 20 years.
There you go. Well, we'll be seeing you guys in a few days.
Looking forward to Dennis.
Okay, talk to you later.
Yeah.
All right. Interrupted by the moons. Love it.
Sorry about that, Dan.
No, that's okay. It's always good.
You asked me a question.
It's always good to get interrupted by the moons. No, I just wanted to. They've taken a lot of crap and they've got a lot of accusations thrown at them. I know Chris in particularly has, because of some of the rules you have at the house. And I just kind of wanted to touch base on that. I mean, I know in all respect to you guys, it's your house. You have rules posted on your website about what people can do when they come in there when they have a paranormal investigation. And Chris has been able to bring in a ghost box, and there's other people that come in that are not allowed to. And I just wanted to address that. You didn't say Chris Moon is the only one that's allowed to come in and do that. It wasn't Chris that said that. It was you guys, and it's your place. And I just wanted to kind of address that and kind of put that out there because I know I've listened to it and I've seen it. He's taken some crap where people have said Chris has put the kibosh on paranormal investigations at the Mason Inn for people bringing in ghost boxes, and he's the only one allowed to do it. And I just thought we could let listeners know the reasoning behind it. And it's your reason, and that's the only reason people need, because you own the place, and really kind of just touch base on that.
The bottom line, Dan, is we didn't set the rules up ourselves. Originally, Chris was coming in with his box, and one of the things I found out at the expo, which it didn't dawn on me, all the people that were up there in that panel discussion came in with boxes years and years after we were involved with the box. And so they're relatively new at it.
Right.
Which I hadn't realized until at that moment. But we had other people coming in with their boxes. They were kickoffs from the Frank box and the Radio Shack hacks and all the different things. And we occasionally would get somebody in that didn't have control of who they knew were the spirits on the other side. and they started using it like a Ouija board, inviting the world in. And we got in trouble with some spirits coming through those that caused some problems here.
Right.
Left them behind.
And so
Conjured them up and left them behind.
So we actually called Chris in one time to clean the house out one time because it got kind of terrible for us here. And now it's been cleaned out, but it wasn't our decision to go with only Chris, but the spirits themselves put the rules down because Chris uses a controlled technician on the other side. And some of our spirits here have been trained as technicians when Chris is here to use the boxes. So we have multiple technicians actually working the boxes at one time. And we've actually heard our spirits come through when somebody's brought in another box and basically tell us, shut it down now, something's happening. And they've actually found, tried to control what was going on. So that's kind of what we've gotten into a situation with. They feel a little more in control when they can control the boxes themselves. If that makes sense.
It does.
Yes, our spirits are the ones who requested that only Chris Moon box is allowed here. It's their request, not ours. They also request no, what do they call it? Conjuring or belligerent. You have to be cordial, and you have to treat this like it's their own house. You know, you're in somebody's house. You're not in an empty house lockdown.
Right. I was gonna say, at the end of the day, this is a place where you live. So I mean, you can't keep coming in there and acting like you're in an empty warehouse. It's a place where you live and guests come to stay on a normal basis.
And it's total respect to the spirits. It's total respect
this
to the
is
spirits.
home. This is their home, and we actually are the guests here, and we act as guests here to them because this is their home. They're the permanent residents, and we're on a temporary basis here.
Wow, I like that. It's all done. And everybody preaches about being respectful to spirits, and I love that you guys are doing that. Like you said, you're respecting the spirits' wishes. That's what came across. And it's, what I like about that story is when you said that Chris went out there and cleaned up the house for you. And it's cool to hear that because you don't hear that a lot. Even some people will say things like, oh, he causes chaos so I like hearing that, for you guys, he went in there and he actually cleaned up the place and helped you all bring order and clarity to the location. It's good because, like Dan says, there is a lot of other stories out there that go on about him. It happens.
And we do know that Chris has taken a lot of grief, and we have taken a lot of grief, and we've actually lost a lot of close friends because of it. And it's very hard when you lose very close friends you've had for years because of your rules here, and they won't ever come back again because they won't even talk to you because of that. And that was very hard for us to accept. But the building and the inn and the spirits are more important in the overall scheme of things.
Yeah. Yes.
They're going to be here for a long time, a lot longer than we will. So we got to keep it nice for them.
Yeah, I like that. People in the chat room are saying that they like that outlook, and they're saying got some people saying, "Wow, good people," talking about you and Joy, good people. The way that they are very. They admire the way you respect the spirit's wishes. Yeah. So I think that's amazing too. I agree with them.
Yeah, you have to, and like a lot of places you go into, and you can tell that it's just kind of like run amok, and there has to be some type of control, some type of guidelines and rules set down. And I think especially when you're in a situation like they're in, I mean, that would be like inviting people into my home to do Ouija boards and things that, I would want to know how they're trained. I would want to know how each person that's coming in my house knows what they're doing, extensively before I just let them come in. I understandable that I have a haunted house that's used for a research center. It's a little different. It's just used for that as opposed to where I'm actually dwelling. So I get it, and I understand, and I just wanted to kind of touch on that so people could understand that it's not Chris, saying, you know,
Yeah, he gets blamed.
I'm putting the,
No.
I'm going and putting the kibosh on all paranormal investigators out there who want to investigate the Mason Inn to not bring their spirit boxes. You know, like you know, it's
And the one, yeah, and we do not go out on investigations with groups that come in here. We stay out of the way so they can have the house to themselves. The only one that we're involved with is when Chris is here and the box is here, because that's our spirits call that their word box, and they want to talk to us. They have things that they want to say to us, so that's their opportunity to do it.
I'll tell you what, before they, you know, spirit boxes just started making the limelight in the past, probably like what 7-8 years, big time. Like, and now the newer ones that are out, where they're making a lot more advances, and you know, and I'm sure Chris will tell you that there's newer ones out that he trusts, ones that he doesn't like so much, but you know, he has some of them. He has some of the ones that he likes, and he has some of the ones that he trusts. But
the Andres box.
the Andres box, and there's other makers out there that are kind of going by the old code of how to make them. But it's taboo. I mean, if you're a paranormal investigator and you have to solely rely on a spirit box to do an investigation, then you know it's, you know, there's other ways. There's a lot of cool ways to go about trying to get evidence and trying to get answers, besides using a box, besides using a spirit box. Come up with some ideas. Start thinking more. That's something I preach a lot. You know, like, people need to start using their head. Kids are coming up with better ideas than we are. You know, these kids out there, these teenagers. Look at Madison. Did you get to meet Madison this weekend, Chuck?
Yes.
I mean, look at her. She's coming up with some great ideas as a kid, and we're all sitting here bickering with each other about spirit boxes, and you know, she's coming up with new ideas, ways to, you know, and they're gonna be the future, and we're all gonna be sitting behind thinking, twiddling our thumbs, thinking, what the heck were we doing, you know? And I think it's the way of the future. We need to sit back and listen and watch and learn, because it's the only way we're going to advance with paranormal investigating. We can't be set in our old ways, and hopefully we'll be able to. The only thing that I wish with Frank's box, I wish there was a way to make it more clear. You know, that would be my only wish with it. I know Chris is in tune with it. Chris understands it.
Oh yeah, he is.
Chris, you know, and like you become one with the box, and I'm the same way with the box that I use. Like, I can hear things and I can understand what's coming out of it, but not everybody does all the time, you know. And I wish there was a way that it was a little bit more clear and the clarity was there, you know. And I hope that there's inventors out there that can take the design and move forward and push that forward for a future.
Well, Frank is still involved with the box. We actually had an example here in one of the classes where the box was very quiet, and we asked, is there a way that we could tune this thing up and get some more volume of it? All of a sudden it came through blasting clear, and we just said, what happened, Frank? Frank said, I'm inside tuning it. Just leave me alone a few minutes.
Oh, wow.
So he's actually playing with the boxes still from the other side.
Interesting.
Which is pretty amazing.
What I love is you guys have been able to collect and acquire a lot of historical facts and a lot of things that you've been able to back up from doing different investigations and communicating with the spirits there, whether it's through the box or whether it's through, because sometimes I know, Joy, you're empathic, right?
Yes.
And you pick up on feelings, or you can communicate with some of the spirits there. So, and I love that. And a lot of the times what comes through the box, Chris has told me that a lot of the times it makes a lot of sense to you, because you're like, that makes sense because this happened to be a while back, or it's usually validated for you, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I like
well,
that.
We call her the joy box, because a lot of times we're sitting there talking on a spirit box, and she's getting conversations in her head.
Wow.
And we record all the sessions, and interesting enough, what she's hearing and responding to is not being picked up by a digital recorder. She's actually getting direct information.
See, I love that. See, and that, to me, that's why you're there. That's why that's why both of you it's like you're there, you belong there. That's where you belong. The spirits are like, okay, Chuck and Joy, that's why you belong there. You're going to be a fixture there, and I just think that that's the place for you guys because,
Yeah, people are put there. People are put in places for a reason. You know, it's like maybe you guys were just, that was your destiny. That's where you were destined to go.
Well,
They said they chose us.
Exactly.
That's
Sounds about
makes
right.
a lot of sense. Yeah.
but they did say that it's like a torch. It has to be passed on, and the torch will be passed on to the right people down the road. So we're very comfortable with that idea too.
And I think if that time ever comes, you'll know it. You'll feel it. You'll know who it's supposed to be. And it won't be passed on until, and especially if Joy gets those messages, I know she'll know. It'll kind of be a ringing in her head and she'll say, okay, this feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said they're going to pick the next owner and they're going to let us know. So
Wow.
just have to wait.
How do you think they'll let you know that? Do you think it'll be through like a dream, or you think you'll get some sort of synchronistic message?
I have no idea.
Or it may come through the spirit box. We never know.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Well, I know
Maybe it'll say, give it
I
to
will
D.
now.
Garcia.
Let's see.
She
I've
can
got
cook
a question.
tacos.
Be quiet, Dan. I've got a question here from the chat room for Sherry Leonard. She says, Joy is more than empathic if she can hear spirits in her head. She's a medium. So what do you think? Do you feel like you've got those mediumship abilities, Joy?
No, I don't call myself medium because I can't do it at will.
Okay.
They have to want to talk to me. I don't seek them out. And if they want to talk to me, then they do. If they don't want to, I can't make them. I just, I'm more of a receiver
okay.
than a sender.
Yeah.
And she's got what bright blue aura, which means communication. And the spirits see that and know that if they want to talk to somebody, they could talk to her.
Now, when box sessions are done there at the inn, it works out very well when you sit right next to Chris, right?
Yes, I understand quite a bit of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times if he doesn't quite catch it, he'll look at me and say, what did you hear? And I'll tell him what I heard. And then sometimes they will validate, yes, that's what it was, or no, and they'll say it again. And yeah, I do understand most of it.
But they also use her for energy for the box.
Yeah.
When Chris starts getting worn down, they will jump over to her to tap her energy. And that's why they're in close proximity of each other.
See, and I feel like that's why I feel, okay, maybe not me, but you've got strong abilities, Joy, and I can see that around you. You've got strong abilities, and I think that's why not only you understand the box so well, but you can tune into it so well, and then your energy, it's something more, some sort of energy that you've got around you that just works really well, and the spirits love it.
Probably being around that so much probably helps you get in tune with it even more, I would suspect, huh? Being there. And...
Well, I've seen spirits since I was about 5.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen dozens and dozens of spirits in my life. They just look like regular people to me.
Wow.
And I don't even realize that they are spirits until I realize that nobody else is seeing what I'm seeing. So I've seen several spirits here, and at first I thought they were people that walked in off the street and were just sitting around in the chairs, and until I realized that they were there and then they weren't there. Our daughter sees them too. She has Down syndrome. She thinks they're customers. She'll say,
"Oh wow,
Mom, check in," and I'll look out there and there's nobody there, and I said, what was she wearing? And she said, long dress, like always. Like always.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, that's an even stronger ability there.
Yeah, our grandkids see them. They think they're the customers' children and want to know why they're not eating breakfast.
But they run around the inn playing tag with the spirit children here and jumping on beds with them and stuff. So
They play hide and seek with them and say, "Wow, they're really good hiders."
Well, at least they have friends to play with.
yes,
Question. It's been referred to as the paranormal Disneyland. Why is that?
Oh,
it's all friendly. There's nothing evil here, and they use their energy to guard and protect the inn to keep
I like
bad
that.
spirits. They refer to this as an education center. They want to teach about the other side, and Joy and I have different approaches to teaching, I guess. I am what Joy calls Rocky Road. It's black and white, and I tell it the way it is. Joy gives the vanilla version.
Oh, there's just one little old lady and maybe a cat. He's like, "Oh, there's 300."
And I did ask Harold about that one time, about my approach, and he says, "You are who you are. Tell it the way it is. It's up for them to believe it or not. Don't worry about it."
But he scares the guests off. They'll say, "I'm going to stay 2 nights," and then Chuck throws the chunky monkey at them, and they're like, "Oh, I think we're leaving now."
oh, jeez.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, keep it vanilla, okay?
Vanilla. But I like the way you refer to it as a paranormal Disneyland because it's fun. The spirits are friendly. There's a lot of interaction that happens, and it becomes like a party, you know. And I experienced it when I was there. There was a lot of interaction coming through. When people try to do EVPs, you get EVPs, and you get clear EVPs there. Things coming through the box. It's very clear. The communication is
Our daughter
amazing.
Ginny.
Oh, hi, Ginny.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
She's going to bed, so good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night,
So-
baby.
Good night. See you in the morning. Love you, sweet dreams. But yeah, it's a lot of fun here. The more fun our guests are having, the more fun the spirits are having. If people are sitting in the rooms waiting for something to happen, they'll go to another room to find some fun. They want to have fun.
Chuck, somebody's asking in the chat room, who is this Chris you've been talking about?
Oh, jeez.
Why don't you answer that one?
Chris, he's the box man. He is Christopher Moon. Look him up. You'll find some stuff about him.
Google him.
He's actually a psychic medium, paranormal investigator, and been dubbed the electronic medium for his use with the Frank's box. But no, he doesn't need the box to be psychic. A lot of people say, oh, he's not a real medium. He needs the box. He doesn't need the box. He's a psychic medium with or without the box. But the box is a tool, and it's an amplifier for him to hear and feel and get those messages coming across from the other side. And he actually does a great job using Frank's box. Some people don't hear clearly what's coming through, and I've sat there, and some things I can understand, some things I can't.
Hey,
but he's very much in
take a
tune
breath.
with. Huh?
Take a breath. You need to take a breath with this statement. You're just like, it's one big giant rattle with this PSA announcement.
He's a big deal.
Chris Moon. Go to
Talk
Christopher
about
Moon.
with him. No, but he's you know, he is.
That was one giant monotone sentence you were going with there. It was I'm like, oh my god. Take a breath.
I'm trying
Take a
to
breath.
give bullet points of what he does.
I know.
What he does.
You're hitting
Yeah.
But it's
everything.
good facts.
Huh?
Chris is
It's
awesome.
a good fact background of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris is awesome though. Definitely check him out.
I'd like to
Amazing
say,
in many ways. Connect with a lost loved one that you can actually speak with him through the box.
yes.
Instead of
Speak-
going to a psychic medium and have it speak through the medium, he's got this invention that was invented that you can actually speak with that lost loved one, which is cool.
Right, you
Yeah.
Hear it for yourself. Yes.
That's,
Hear it for yourself. Hear the voices.
that's the
You can hear
selling
the
point, D,
voices.
right there.
Huh?
That's the selling point.
There you go. That's the selling point right there. That's right. But no, it's the truth. It's a telephone to the dead is what it is. The
Yes.
telespirit box. It's a phone to the people who have passed on, and it's a way for them to come through and communicate. And you treat it like a phone call, and they come through, and you get to hear them with your own ears, hear their voice come through, and it's an amazing experience. I know for me it was an amazing experience hearing my dad in his own voice come through the box and telling me things. So that it was great. I know for a fact that people have heard, and I've witnessed other people hear their loved ones come through there and say things only they know. So it's an amazing experience.
And he was here as a technician the last time you were here.
That's right. That's right. My dad was there as a technician the last time I was there.
Now, the neat thing about the box is for us is because we treat the spirits here as our family and they treat us as family, the box allows us to hear their voices as they actually were. And we get to actually learn about their personality and who they were and what they thought about, what makes them tick, what makes them happy and sad. And to us, that's more important than just getting facts about history and things like that. I know these spirits personally, and that's a neat part of the family relationship we have here.
That's cool.
Yep. And we sort of came down to the conclusion the last time, Chuck, that when my dad was there as a technician, he came through the box and communicated some things to you, and it was we came to the conclusion that he sort of brought us all together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was meant to be, and everyone was supposed to be there for that session.
That's right. Everyone was supposed to be there for that session, and it was amazing. So that was something that stuck with me. And I told you that there was a lot of characteristics and things. You know, my dad was an educator, and so a lot of times when I hear you talk, it reminds me of my dad. Yeah. So yeah, we talked about that too. It's
Yep. I remember that.
A lot of synchronicities that happen. Let's see, I'm going up. I want to read more about. So yes, so those of you asking in the chat room, people are asking, where is the Mason House? The Mason House is in Bensport, Iowa.
What's just so everybody can check it out too? What's the website that people can go to, or where? What's the best place for them to check it out so they can book a room? And now, if somebody wants to just come book a room, can they just go on and start investigating in the house, or is that something they should plan ahead, let you know, or how does that work?
It's better to plan ahead, because if they want to be in the main house and do an investigation, if we have other guests, they have to stay in their rooms so they don't interfere with other guests. If they want the whole house, we need to set up a specific date so we can make sure we don't put other guests in the house at that time. Okay. But it's masonhouseinn.com.
Awesome. And we've got, yes, the Mason House is in Iowa. I'm just reading the question. So we've got an event coming up there this weekend, and I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
It's going to be a very busy event. We have a full house. It's a sellout crowd. It's going to be standing, well, we're moving very closely together as it's a tight quarters. But we will have, Chris will do his class, the way it's set up, and then we'll serve a dinner for everybody. And then right after dinner, Joy and I will talk about the history of the inn and what goes on here, and let them be introduced to some of the spirits here. And then we will go up in small groups up to what we call room 5, because it's the largest room on the second floor, and actually do voice box sessions with small groups at a time. And everybody will cycle through that. And my understanding after that, because we have a film crew here, on top of it, we will be doing a drawing for that special reading or session, gallery session, after the main session of everybody goes through, if that makes sense.
And then Chris also does private readings for people.
After that. So it's going to be a long night for Chris here.
What about Dee? Dee, are you going to do some readings?
Huh?
Are you going to do readings too?
Yes, I did readings last time as well. But
cool. Well, I didn't know if you were going to take the night off, maybe eat extra desserts.
I'll do my readings after the desserts.
She'll be well wired.
Paulette does readings too.
Paulette does readings as well. All three of us do readings. Paulette does chakra and aura and tarot, and I do oracle card readings, regular readings, and I do healing sessions. You all got to see my egg healing that I did the last time.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, she got real eggs from our chickens.
Yes, I did.
Nice. Right out and got one and used it, huh?
Yep.
Mhm.
Fresh eggs. Couldn't get any
Fresh
fresher than that.
I think I ended up doing like 5 healings, if I recall correctly. And so Joy kept going back and getting me more eggs.
A mug of chicken.
He was using up all our breakfast food.
You should pull a prank on Chris and just use him and accidentally crack them on his head for the video a couple times.
Oh, great. Yeah, right.
I don't think so. Not with his lovely hair.
And then tell him that he's been duped. You're on a hidden camera variety show. Ha 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 ha.
But I'm excited for this weekend. Especially for those of you that, since the event now is sold out, we were talking about how it's standing room only, but you still have an opportunity to watch what's happening there, to watch it live if you go and subscribe to VidiSpace, to the VidiSpace network. If you subscribe to Vidi.space and go and subscribe, you can either subscribe to the entire network or subscribe to the Ghost Box Chronicles Live. But I would just do the whole network because they've got all the shows on there and it's amazing.
Not only you get the crypto space, you get UFO space, you get haunted space, you get all these different music space, wrestling space. They're opening up all these different channels now, which is really cool. And if you like any of that stuff, you get it all for like $10 a month. It's like
oh, great! There's some people in chat that are subscribers and they're excited because they it's already sold out. It's not like we can force, okay guys, come on, we gotta allow more people in here because we're already going to be super crowded by what I understand.
Yeah.
It's standing room only. So those people that didn't get an opportunity to buy a ticket and can't attend in person, if you subscribe to VidiSpace, you'll be able to watch the ghost hunt because we're gonna film it. It's gonna be a live interactive ghost hunt for VidiSpace, Vidi.space. Go subscribe to the channel and you can watch us. And I will be manning the chat room. I'll be talking to you guys live, and you'll get to see the way Chuck and Chris and Joy all work in action there together with the box and the questions coming through. You'll get to see, we've got Papa Moon with us, and he's an excellent, excellent photographer, paranormal photographer. He always gets the best orbs. In my opinion, he gets the best, whether it's orbs, shadow figures, some things. For some reason, they love to appear for him when he gets the best paranormal pictures. And you get to see Mama Moon do her dowsing. We're all going to be doing something different. And Chuck you'll be asking your awesome questions. I know there's always questions and things you want answered that we need to know about the end, or whether something happens to you. I already learned your style. I learned, you'll be there like, 2 weeks ago, I woke up and I heard a knock. Howard, was that you?
He's ready.
That's the way it works.
Yeah,
I've got a whole page of questions.
Yeah, but he does. He walks around with his clipboard. He's got all the questions, and they always get validated. Now, before we go, I wanted to ask you, because I know there's a whole horde of spirits that pop up, and it's repeated, right? Like, they come up a lot in the sessions, whether it's Sarah or... Which ones are the more prevalent ones at the end that people, if they watch a video, might be hearing of the most?
Probably we will be talking to Harold as a primary. He's the alpha male here. Marky comes through a lot of times. Amanda comes through. Mary may come through. We have some questions for her. I have a couple questions for Lewis Mason and for Billy Robinson, actually, the original builder of the inn. So
awesome.
There could be a lot of different ones that we're going to question that will come through.
This is going to be a great, great show for those VidiSpace subscribers, isn't it?
I hope so. And I would like to talk to some of the spirits that we passed on through when you were here last time.
Yes.
That one soldier. I would like to find out more details about his name and his history so we can Google him.
Cool.
So we're hoping to contact him during the video session.
And sometimes we get contacted by somebody who wants help.
Yeah.
So then we to them for a while and see if we can help them.
Now, one advertisement before we cut off for those who can't come to this one in August, the next one is November 10th. And we do have a couple rooms still open for that.
Awesome. That's right. We do have another one. November 10th. Is that again a Friday, Saturday?
Saturday. And
Saturday.
if you want to do your pod thing before that or whatever you were going to do, you have to come a couple days early.
You know what? We will. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll go and do a podcast and maybe we'll get Dan to go down for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to sell me twice with the meal that they prepared. That's all it takes for me. Good food.
Tell everybody what we're going to be fed. I want the viewers to hear how awesome and hospitable you guys are.
Well, we try to make sure this is country living, and we try to make sure no one goes away hungry. So the our entrees are going to be roast beef and chicken. We'll have mashed potatoes and gravy. We're going to have a broccoli salad, green bean almondine. No broccoli salad.
No broccoli
Oh,
salad,
sorry,
the
green bean almondine. We're going to have rainbow rotini salad. We're going to have sweet rolls and 3 different desserts.
Wow.
And I don't want to let the cat out of the bag of what those are, because Chris and Paulette 2 of them are made for them. We actually make them for them. So.
All right.
We just don't want them to know ahead of time.
Now, I want to let you know, Chuck, my sister's in the chat room, and she is saying, my sister's name is Lupita, by the way, and she is saying that this location, that the Mason House, is now officially on her bucket list. So I think I may have to drag her up there with me one of these times that we go up.
Oh,
Put her in the car, grab her, put some suitcases in, and just come on up.
I've had quite a few. Kyle Smile from Canada said he wants to go. And Periscope, I know Rosa from Michigan is watching on YouTube, said she's interested in going.
Awesome.
We'll get do it.
So I would love for my sister to go there and hear my dad come through and talk, because he seems real strong and clear at the Mason House for some reason, and I think it's because it's an education center.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that synchronism that you talked about is key. That why we were all there. You were there for the first time. He pulled through and became the technician, not just a speaker. And he wanted to talk to not only you, but he talked to me and things like that. And I think we relayed to all of us there. And that was a very important evening for us.
It really was. It was amazing. So, yeah, my sister's excited. I think I'm going to be dragging her over there. I won't have to drag her. She's going to go willingly.
She just has to put up with you in a car for a few days.
That's right.
No, Lupita will fly. She'll make those 2 drive. She'll just fly in.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, this is great. I'm excited. I can't wait for this weekend. I want everyone to see, and for them to see it live is going to be amazing, because they'll see it as it's happening, and it's going to be a great gift for us to give those people that are subscribing to Vidi. They'll be able to see this. Maybe they're not there in person, but I think that watching it live and having their questions answered will be just as good. And I'm excited, because I just know I have this big feeling in the pit of my stomach that amazing things are going to happen.
Well, we have a plan of what we would like to have happen, but not one event has ever gone the way we've wanted to go.
True.
They always change it to what they want it to be.
That's right.
Like your dad popped in, that was changed that we didn't expect, and it changed the whole evening. So that happens all the time here. That's just a normal here.
That's funny.
I love it. And what other events? Let's see. You've got this weekend. We've got the GHU. What other big events do you have coming up there besides November? Which other ones that people
November 3rd. On November 3rd, the Ghost Crier team is doing an investigation.
Coming back to see why Harold grabbed his butt, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Shut him.
Harold grabbed Aaron's butt, from what I understand, so we got to figure out what's up with that.
Well, that would be a good thing for Dee to ask the box.
Yeah, Dee. Find that out for everybody on Vidi Space this weekend. Why the heck would Carol be grabbing Aaron's tushy?
Yeah, we'll ask that for the show. We'll say, quick question. This is for everyone. I want to I want to ask, Harold, why did you grab Aaron's tushy? We need to know.
Or maybe he was trying to find it because he doesn't really have much of a tushy. Maybe he was trying to say, where is this guy's butt? Does he have a butt?
It might not have been Harold. We do have several female spirits.
Ah, well, there you go.
So let's just find out who it was.
That's right.
Start with that. Let's start off
And
with
you can
who was
make
it.
sure you write that one down, Dee, for this weekend.
Yes, I will. I'll write it. It'll be the first question.
Just cut
So we've
Moon
got
right off.
Ghost
Moon,
Fire on
I
the
know you
3rd.
got important questions to ask, but we need to get to the bottom of this right now.
So before anything else. So we've got Ghost Choir November 3rd. And then on the 10th, right? The 10th of November,
Yes.
another GHU?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the one we're going to try to get Dan to come down for.
We'll talk.
Yes.
I might be on. I think that's the second week in November. I'm actually going to be, unfortunately, on a cruise for a week with just me and my wife. So not unfortunately, not unfortunately.
Wait,
That
Dan,
is-
you
yeah.
need to phrase that. You don't ever say unfortunately
I
with your
corrected
wife.
myself right away because if she heard me, I'm probably gonna have a bat over the head. No, that's something I'm looking forward to. So, and we've been planning it for over a year. So, I've had that in the books for a long time. So, it's just.
We'll
being
try
her.
to set dates for next year for February,
Yeah.
August, and November again. So we'll see what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we should plan something. I'd love to plan something, and maybe we can do both of the shows live from there. We could do Box Talk from there. We could do Phenomena Encountered from there. We can have some sort of a mini con.
I think February would be great. That would be awesome. Nothing's going. We could
And it's really active. That
maybe a
time.
haunted
We get a lot
sleepover.
going
We
on.
could just sell all the rooms out and then have like a nighttime thing. That would be cool.
That'd be cool. Yeah. And film for Vidi, and then we could all be there in one. All the Vidi people could be in one space.
I could see about bringing some of the Within These Walls team here, and we could film both of our shows. We could commingle our shows together.
Oh, that would be cool. Look at this. We're developing a
Within
like
These
it.
Walls and Ghostbox Chronicles live together.
That'd be cool.
Wow.
That would be impressive.
That would be.
I think
That would be.
let's do it. Let's
I
plan
like
it out.
Oh, Chuck, Alan is in the chat room and he says, "I'm ready for the Mason House, but is the Mason House ready for me?"
Haha.
Our spirits can handle anybody.
That's right. Oh, so Dan, anything else you want to talk about before we cut off?
No, I'm good, guys. If you keep up with me, just go to my website, danielklaes.com. I got a paranormal camp out this weekend that's sold out at the Hinsdale House. I'll be attending, and then I'll be at the Michigan Paracon up at the Upper Peninsula in Michigan the following week on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then just, I'm all over the place. So just keep up, and I'll keep up with you.
Awesome. Chuck, enjoy. Anything before we cut off?
Thank you for having us on, and I want to thank Daniel for having us a chance to meet him at the expo this weekend.
Yeah.
And get that pre-set up going.
Glad I got to, at least for a few minutes, the little bit of time we got to sit next to each other. It was nice to get some info on you and meet you. So.
Awesome. Joy, any last words?
No.
Come down and have fun.
Come on down.
Come on down
Come
for
and have-
pie.
Awesome. Can't wait. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you, Chuck and Joe. You guys were amazing. Love talking about the end. Love talking about the stories. And looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to the family get-together. Looking forward to everything that we've got going on this weekend. And, for all the viewers and listeners out there, please tune in this weekend. We've got an amazing show on Vidi. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's going to be great. It's going to be featuring the spirits of the Mason House Inn in Bentonsport, Iowa. It's going to be a great show, and this is a great location, guys. Check it out. Check out their website. Book in advance. Book. Don't miss the opportunity to go visit this place. It's a great location, and you will not be disappointed. Everyone falls in love with this place. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get back there. So, and I already miss it. I know it's only going to be for the weekend, and I'm already sad. So,
We'll see you
Oh,
Thursday.
see you
can
Thursday.
and real quick before I let you go too, a couple of people have asked about Bernice, guys. I just want to. I did meet up with her yesterday. She is still resting. She's doing good. Her lungs are all cleared up. She had a double bout of pneumonia in her lungs, so we're just asking for continued prayers for her. She's gonna make it through. She told me, she held my hand super tight that I cut off circulation. Told me she's gonna make it, and she's fighting, and she's gonna continue to do what she loves to do. And she's just you know, the way she is. She's if everybody's known her, she's gonna keep going until she's in the grave. So she's probably gonna be summoning me from the grave, telling me, Dan, we gotta go live on Monday. You know, so I mean, that's just the way she is. But she'll be back. I have confidence in that, and we just need her to rest. And when she's ready, I'll be there. And I told her that, and we'll be live with her doing her reading. So
Awesome.
that's that.
Everybody,
I'll keep you
please,
posted on her.
please send your prayers and your thoughts and healing energy to Bernice. Please, please, please. We're all praying for her and hoping she gets better. Dan, keep us posted on that. And please, guys, continue to send healing energy and prayers for Mama Moon. She's getting better, but she's still, you know, it's tough. She's a tough lady, man. She made it out to the events, and she's going out to the Mason House. She said, I am not. That's the same spirit. They're like, they want to keep doing what they do, and I absolutely admire that from both Bernice and Mama Moon and anybody that's like that. You know, it takes, you know, it's amazing. I admire that. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, everyone that tuned
Yes,
in, everyone
thank
that is
you.
watching. Love you all so
Thank
much.
you for having us.
Thank you for joining. I absolutely enjoyed it so much, and I can't wait to have you back on. Maybe we'll do this again before the next event. Maybe we'll make that a thing.
There you go.
Have you on before every event. All right. Love you guys. Love you, Chuck and Joy. Thanks for joining. Dan, love you to pieces. Love everyone out there listening. Smile, and remember to make someone else smile too, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.